How's it going, everyone? So today we have the steel KM131R that is having a problem. Actually, two problems. One, the end isn't spinning or moving. I have a feeling it's just not installed properly, but we'll go down that later. But the more important of a problem is he says it's losing power. It's very low on power. Now, I did two things to look at this before we started the video. Check the spark arrestor. If you're unaware what that is, it's a little spring, or not spring, mesh that screen, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, on the exhaust. It isn't completely ripped out, so there's no point of even looking at that. It's not plugged. If it's plugged, it's going to cause a loss of power. Basically, it's being choked from the other end instead of the front where the fuel is. Next, I gave it a pull, and usually I could drop start these, but I want to say the 4 times I pulled on it, 3 of those times it kind of pulled right back up, as in there's way too much compression, which tells me compression release is not activating, which tells me the valves are out of adjustment. If valves are out of adjustment, then you're going to have a lack of power. Basically, these move very small distances, and even a small decreased amount is going to cause a problem. So what ends up happening is there is a compression release on these machines to make it easier to pull. Now, how it ends up working is it bumps one of the valves, and when it bumps of course, I don't know what's with steel lately, but every single one I pull, the coil is attached to the plug, like not wanting to come off, attached. Oh, come on. Every single one so far this year. Okay, anyway, so with it being out of adjustment, it's going to restrict fuel or the exhaust or whatever it is. But more importantly, this one with that compression release is on the exhaust. So when I pulled on it, usually I'm only pulling against like 60 psi or something of that realm. With the compression release not working, it's probably going to be closer to somewhere in the hundreds. So we need to make it easier to start by doing that. It's going to allow us to have that compression release work properly, and we don't have to worry about it causing issues, and we should gain our power back. It's a steel plug, and it's seen better days, but I'm pretty sure it would still work. It shouldn't be a problem there. We're taking the plug out because we want to be able to move the engine over very easily, especially with the compression release being a probable issue. We don't want to be fighting against it. Now there is a gasket. It's like a cork material. I'm not going to really mess with it because it seems like it's in good condition. If you want to, you can replace it, but Okay, so how this works is the valve, let's get you a better seat, shall we? The valve on the exhaust side, which is this side, controls the exhaust. So we need to see when the intake goes down, which I think we passed. Yeah, we passed it. That's the one that we are kind of concerned over. So that valve is completely at its low end of travel. It's not horrible. So let's see. This is 0.003 of an inch. And actually, no, that seems basically fine. we might have a problem here, like a bad problem. The cam might be all tore up, but the intake is way loose. Tightening will lower the gap or lessen the gap. And when you do this, you want to not test it with your tool on here. Hey! There we go. That seems a lot better. So our intake valve was actually quite a bit out of spec. Our exhaust valve seems like it's very good. So that's a plot twist to say the least. But I'm going to put this back on and we will see if it will start normally and if it has any problems with compression or any problems with being too difficult to start. Because if the compression release is busted, then what we need to do is we need to take the cam out and potentially buy a new cam, which is not a cheap endeavor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this plug a little bit, it's a little dirty, and then I'll bring it back. The gap on this plug was a little narrow. It was only at like 25 thousandths. These should be at 30 thousandths. So I have adjusted up to 30 thousandths. That could also be a problem right there. We're horrible scientists, but it is something to check. Okay, now let's put this cover back on. Every time they can be difficult, they will. Let's see if this works. Okay. Primes. Choke. On. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be a little hard to tell about the power, but I couldn't get it started before, so that's already a good sign. The valve definitely caused a lot of that issue right there. Next part is we need to see the end is good on this machine. Shouldn't have to. There we go. Well, that's... There we go. So what we're going to look for is in here. There's a square. If it's rounded off, it doesn't look like it. So right now, I put the other piece that came out in. I'm going to look and see if that is spinning. It appears like it is, so that's good. So I also checked the end of the rod that goes into the clutch. It's not egged out. That's a common thing where sometimes they will, like I said, they're square, they'll be egged out where they just kind of go to like more of a round. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to spin the head manually. Let's see if this moves. Not really moving. It's not a good sign. Okay, we might need to take this off. And take this pull off. I need to do this. These only have to be loose. Hopefully this just slides right out. And it does. Very good. That is also not egged out, so that's a good sign. Okay. I'm going to find a screwdriver. I'm going to see if I can't get that to move manually. Hopefully this is big enough. If you shove a screwdriver, that's nowhere near big enough. I think that might be too big. I'm going to find a better screwdriver. I saved you that. I put a screwdriver in there. Nothing's spinning, and it doesn't seem like they're stuck. So we're going to take this cover off. Usually a spot you can pry up. Here we go. This is a very greasy project, as you can tell. We're going to go through a lot of rags today. That usually looks like there's water in here. Ew. We'll have to add more grease later. I see something bad. So when metal gets hot, it reacts with the oxygen in the environment and oxidizes. And one of the key things you'll see is it will turn blue. And I see some blue on that steel right there. I have a sinking suspicion that nothing good happened there. I'm going to shove that screwdriver in one more time, wash my hands, see if anything's happening. No. Oh, maybe. So what I see happening is this. There's a little gear in there, and I'm already kind of seeing some metal pieces. I'm assuming that when the gear is broken off, or part of the gear, and it hasn't been able to go past it. The unfortunate part about this is there's really not an easy way to repair that without replacing the whole thing. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see if I can't find a piece and be right back. And I lost the footage. So what you missed is the repair cost for this was going to be very, very close to the actual price to replace it. So the owner decided just to replace it. It's as easy as just going to the store and buying a new one and putting it on there. But the machine's head, the power head, is actually complete. It's running great. We used it. The owner used it. He had never had a single bit of problem that I know of. And this has been recorded at least 6 months ago. So I'm going to go ahead and consider this repaired. Sorry for the weird ending here. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Hopefully you like it. Leave a thumbs up if it helped you out. Definitely subscribe. Leave a comment. And I'll catch you on the next video.